what this case is about. Basically, what Time Warner wanted to do was they wanted to scramble your signal.
Right.
And that effectively, would that have really put you off cable TV?
Oh, well, it doesn't necessarily put us off the television, but it does take away the chances of anyone watching without coming out and saying, yes, I am, what we call it is a pervert, because that's what they're actually labeling people, is I have to sign, as a subscriber, I would have to sign a card that says, yes, I am Ms. Bird, and I watch Channel 35, and I want it unscrambled from the hours of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
So that was the second part of it. See, it wasn't just the scrambling that would put us off the air. It's the fact that people had to request the channel to be put on the air.
Well, so what's wrong with that?
Because you come out of the closet. You lose your chances of first-time viewers.
Confidentiality was never there. Time Warner's not confidential with their lists. They didn't even, the judge who heard this case didn't even get a card in the mail asking whether or not...
Did the judge want to watch your show?
Sure.
Of course, he actually did say that he was a participant of viewing those type of shows, and
suggested using France Connect, a government tool which is similar to the UK's gov.uk Verify. The system is currently used for tax collection and other public services, meaning that if this was used for age verification, you'd be creating an implicit link between one's national government profile and one's online habits.
So the war on adult sites are continuing across Europe, specifically France, Germany, and other countries in that territory. And, September has been a tough month for the adult industry. And, and this is all over the world. We reported on how Wells Fargo is closing out accounts of people in the adult industry. We've heard the lawsuits with Pornhub, the attacks on Visa and other payment processors, forcing them to stop doing business with MindGeek and a couple of other companies on there because basically someone did bad and, you're going to go for the deep pockets to blame everybody else. But this is all of this is censorship. All it's pure censorship because they're trying to control certain things. While they're trying to censor pornography, they're okay with cheese pizza. You understand that? We got a story coming out on that very soon. Good discussion on that. Something was said in Spain at a political meeting. But out of XBiz, France, Germany moves forward with efforts to block adult sites. Prompted by anti-porn activists and politicians, courts in France and Germany move forward with proposed mandates to block adult sites over compliance on controversial age verification mandates. Now, there are pushing some, even here in New York, and we got a story coming out there too as well. New York is trying to push a verification mandate as well. All of this is censorship. This is not to protect children. This is to control the internet. This is to let people, let those know what you're reading, what you're watching. This is the control that they want to know. They want to know what you're doing on the internet. And we're not talking about pornography, and we're not talking about selling drugs or anything like that. They want to know if you are going to be a problem to them. A Paris court will rule next month on whether French media regulator ACROM has the right to block access to international porn sites in France unless those sites can guarantee they can prevent minors under 18 from accessing them. That's bullshit. There's nobody can guarantee that. There's no way. Reuters earlier this week, ACROM's action came in response to a complaint by several associations claiming to represent the children.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Meanwhile, across the border in Munster, Germany, the higher administration court has complaints from the Cyprus-based platforms, including X-Hamster, seeking the reversal of a recent ban by a Dusseldorf administration court. Both developments, along with the recent reversal of policy by the conservative government in the UK, which now has vowed to crack down on adult sites like Pornhub and X-Hamster, are being celebrated by international war on porn crusaders as stepping stones in a strategy that will culminate in the total banning of adult content by open platforms like Twitter and Reddit. The ultimate target of this strategy is OnlyFans, which has no OpenX accessibility, search, or preview pages, forcing its models to rely on platforms like Twitter or Reddit for marketing and promotion. The current French Action, so-called children's rights organization in alliance with anti-sex work activists and extremist Catholic groups, specifically targets tube sites like Pornhub, Tufts, X-Hamster, XNXX, and Xvideos. At a Tuesday hearing, lawyers for the adult sites argued that the court was not authorized to rule on the case as the laws were not in line with the Constitution, Reuters reported. ACROM told the news service that the court will rule on October, should be coming up very soon in October, whether it can decide on the issue or whether the case needs to go to the appeals court. As XBix reported, France's age verification mandate was supersededly added to a hastened approved domestic violence law during an atypical and sparsely attended COVID-era session of the French Parliament. See, this is how they sneak it in. They're going to sneak it into other rules on there. The law specifies that the adult companies should be required to institute measures beyond simply asking an internet user whether they are of age. It also empowers the government officials, the president of ACROM, to determine that the president of the judicial order ISP provides to immediately block infringing sites in the entire country. According to the French tech journalist Marc Rees, who has been reporting on the developments for the news site Next Impact, the tube site's appeal is a challenge to the controversial law constitutionally based on legislation vagueness in drafting it, which it violates the legal principle of freedom of expression and communications. In Germany, the higher administration court in Munster confirmed that the decisions of the Dusseldorf administration court, siding with a one-man anti-porn crusade, Tobias Schmidt, head of the state media authority of the Northern Rhine-Westphalia. As XBiz reported, Schmidt, who has been described as having a fetish for order, targeted X-Hamster as part of his crusade to require age verification for viewing sexual content in Germany. The obscure local bureaucrat efforts lead to a court issuing network ban and blocking access to X-Hamster last month. The daily newspaper Frankfurter Alignment noted that the time that the network ban has been the harshest sanction provided by the German Telemarketing Act, and that it is unpopular and quickly classified as censorship. Of course, blocking the network is a dramatic intervention, Schmidt told papers. With this offer, however, the right to freedom of expression should not be affected too much. It is simply business with pornography, and it's done at the expense of children and young people. See, the thing about it is, as I said before, this is where they start. They start in this direction, and they want to move it straight across. And the thing is that you have countries that are passing laws inside other laws to try to implement these censorship rules. This is censorship. It's pure censorship. It doesn't matter how. See, you know what? Let me put it this way. All these people, all these groups, they have no answers on how to police the aging thing because they don't know what to do. The sites on here could put up a block that you would have to enter your ID number. Kid can go grab his mom or dad ID number and type it in. Or he memorizes. This reminds me back in the late 80s and 90s, during the lawsuit in public access with the gay cable network and Robin Bird and many others, where there were those who wanted to send cards out that you had to sign something if you wanted to watch certain adult content that was on free television, which was Channel J at the time. And this would put your name in a file that you wanted this. And you might say, well, that doesn't sound bad or anything. No, it's making a list of people who basically are wanting this kind of material on there. Perfect example is the gay cable network. You're asking people to out themselves if they don't want to out themselves because they want to watch the gay cable network. See, these are the little things in between that people don't realize that this what it leads to. They're trying to censor everything so they know what you're watching, when you're watching it. Is it going to interfere with the government? Is it going to take down the government? This is the things that they fear the most. Information. It has nothing to do with pornography. It has nothing to do with being gay. It has mostly to deal with knowing what is going on in the world. But they use children and cheese pizza and pornography and anime, and they say, hey, this is bad. That's where they start at. These rules start there, and then they expand the rules to where they're basically don't allow this, that, and the other thing, and the next thing you know, it's just basically, everything is censored. It's 1984. So we'll continue to monitor this. And like I said, keep the fight up. That's all you could say is continue. When you see these people pushing these rules and regulations, tell them, no, we don't want this. This is not what we want. If you want kids not to access these sites, give the parents free software. It would cost you a hell of a lot less. That will block these internet sites. A lot of companies do it all the time. Some of it, people have that software in their computer, in their antivirus programs. You can block certain sites. It is possible. Even within Apple, within their software, within Google, there are safe search parameters that you could lock in the search mode that will remove adult content. There is no need to put blockers, to put age verification when the software is already in the computers. Again, this is just pure censorship. It's pure censorship. So let me know how you're feeling below in the comments line. Subscribe, like, share. We'll pick this up the next time when we know more in the month of October. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.